Hi, my name is Patty McGarrahan, and I'm here with Mariann Almonte, and she's come to be on the Mindz Eye Show because I twisted around and made her. But what happened is, if you watch the episode that I did with Bill Ladd, we went to the Courthouse Arts and Entertainment Center, and Mariann is the executive of that place, and they raise money for children autistic and on the spectrum to do programs for them in art and music, and they have all kinds of programs that you can go to raise money. So I'm now going to turn to her and let her explain a little bit about the Courthouse Arts and Entertainment Center.
It's the Courthouse Center for the Arts.
Thank you.
It's located in West Kingston on 3481 Kingstown Road, just down from the Kingston train station and close to URI and the Ryan Center on 138. And we give free programs in the arts and music and theater to children through inclusion programs, which includes the autistic, learning delayed, Down syndrome. And like I said, they're free, but we create miracles with them. And I believe it's done because the classes are so small. So there's 8 to 16 kids in a class, and when it goes over that, we open up another class for them. We have amazing programs for them, and it changes their lives.
And you know, I had a girlfriend that has a granddaughter on spectrum that she's way beyond anything they ever expected to, and they had her do a ton of things to do with art. She actually has some pictures in an art museum. Mm-hmm. They had her doing music. She can sing and play anything, and they had her on stage. So I know that what you're saying is so true. It helps them open up part of the brain that they're having troubles opening up.
They're actually brilliant. They're brilliant.
They're usually off the charts.
Yeah, and most times smarter than the average kid, but there's no way to get it out. They don't know how to. But in 1970, the Dana Foundation, that only studies the brain, found out that the kids that were involved in music and arts and theater, singing, dancing, choruses, their scores were off the charts at the end of high school. And they followed them from preschool to 12th grade. And the kids that were involved in the sports were about halfway, and children not involved in any of those extracurricular were at the very bottom. So they researched it further and found that there was, and this was back in 1970.
Wow.
Who knows what they've found now? But there's 89 different things that are beneficial to the child's intelligence and growth and social well-being. But the number one thing is it increases their cognitive learning skills. And in doing so, it makes them smarter in everything else that they do. So that's with the average child too, not just with the kids on the spectrum or learning delayed Down syndrome. But it creates miracles, miracles with all of them. And we've had kids involved in one class, just one class. I mean, they stayed with us for 2 years, but in the first class, we received calls from school teachers to say, I called the mom to find out what this child did over the weekend, and the only thing different he did was come to a theater class at the Courthouse Center for the Arts. So
I love it.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
It is. I love her organization so much. That's why Bill Ladd and I came to you.
Yeah.
The courthouse, it was an old courthouse.
Yes.
And it's got a lot of history, and I'll have her tell a little bit about it, a lot of history behind it, but there are a lot of energies, and I felt it because I love to go to concerts and activities that she has up there.
Yeah.
That helps them be able to put these programs on. And when I went there, I could feel the energy. And a few of the other people that I'm friendly with that are involved in a lot of holistic stuff was noticing it as well.
Yeah.
So it's...
a lot of people feel it.
Yes.
So when I first got there, I didn't believe it. I'm afraid of my own shadow. I don't want to know that I'm working in the building alone with a bunch of ghosts, but it turned out really well for us. They were all very sweet and kind and nice, and well, you found a couple that weren't in the basement. I'm glad I didn't get to meet them, but we've had quite a few people come in, and even performers. As you know, we have the concerts on the weekends to raise the money to support the free programs in the arts. And now they're not just for children. We have differently abled adults that come in and get the same programs.
Beautiful.
But we've had people that I guess can feel the spirits and insist that we have them removed from the building because they felt they were evil. But in all my years there was only a few people that felt that, and the rest
most of it
were,
is earthbound. Most
Yeah.
of the time, people they like the drama of it, an evil entity, and usually it's just an earthbound energy that is frustrated because they didn't go out through the white light.
Yeah.
So we sent a lot of energies up. I mean, we're talking like 8 or 9 a floor,
I think,
up that
yeah.
day, and it was a beautiful thing. But
It
most of them, you had a
was.
couple cranky and a couple of people that weren't that great when they were here on Earth, so they're not going to be that great on the other side. Do you know what I mean? So
well, you got them out too, though,
we
right?
got them out
Good,
too.
good.
Yes.
Yeah,
so
we have
got
our
to
judge.
stand in the jail cell. That was so
Oh,
much fun.
that was
We're
fun.
standing in the jail
That was
cell
kind of
doing
freaky,
it.
but yeah,
It was
fun.
it was
If you
freaky
wanna
for
call
us
it
too.
fun, it's
yeah, but it was
freaky.
fun too.
Yeah.
And I was surprised because I figured the top floor we'd get very little
Yeah.
because by then the equipment that Bill had was connected with audio outside of the
Oh, really?
courthouse. But when he went through it, he got as many from there.
More
was
than
pretty
I
incredible.
thought he
Way
would.
more than I had anticipated as well.
Yeah.
But no, it was a great time, and we totally enjoyed it. And it's such a great organization.
Thank
I have no
you.
problem doing stuff for you anytime you choose.
Oh,
so
thank you. You had a nice. That was a fundraiser for
Yes,
us too.
that was, yeah.
wonderful. That was wonderful.
Yeah, it was so much fun. And when I went into it, I didn't know. I offered the Mindz Eye in mine, but I didn't know that Bill was going to do it too. And he's such a good guy. He's such a good egg. He really is.
Yeah, he is.
So we had an absolute great time, and for a great cause. And one of the things that I did want to have you talk about that I just thought of too in here, you have the Hollywood people that come and use the thing. Do you want to tell the story? Because you've got a couple of really good.
What's the Hollywood?
Where the
one?
Hollywood people you let them use the courthouse for free?
Oh,
and then
I
they teach
allow
classes?
the producers and directors to come in from LA, and there's a local, the Eric Lutz, that gives theater training and stage and film acting, and we allow them to have the building for free. Under the stipulation, they allow me to put in a few of my kids and get the same training, and they for free though.
Yep.
And so they charge, you know, a decent sum, and on the West Coast it's much more money to get that training, but we fly them in. They do it for less for adults, and but they don't charge my children. And one of the last ones in Eric Lutz's class, and Andy Lauer, is it? Andy Lauer, yeah. He was recruited for 2 major motion pictures.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Do you know what the names of the pictures are?
No, I have no idea.
Well,
but
if
I
you
do
find
know
out, could you
another
let
one.
me
So
know?
another child of mine was in our classes, Robert Bouvier. He's such a sweetheart. I love him. He started with us like this, and he had quite a few teachers. And Eric was the last one, Eric Lutz and Andy. And he's probably in his 5th movie by now. In his 3rd movie, which was called Curves, he won an award for.
Oh my gosh! I get
Yeah,
goosebumps.
and he's been in local commercials with the Cardis. He's been in print. Well, because once you start, you already have all your information. So I told his mom, you need to put him in magazines too, because
nice.
he'll have his college paid for by the time he's 10. Anyway, I think they're pretty close to it now. So
Nice.
he's done really, really well. Yeah, we're proud of all of them. And the way we do the theater is nobody has a lead role. Not nobody, but everybody has the lead. So without you, we couldn't do it. So she might have more lines than you and be a lead character somewhere else, but she's not here.
Nice.
You're all the #1 star.
That is a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it's
I'm so
wonderful.
excited. I'm going to check out Curve because I've been dying.
Curves.
I've been trying to I was wondering because I think one of them has a movie coming out right after the first of the year. You had mentioned at one of the shows.
Yeah, that's Robert again. Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
And another thing I got to tell you, I went to a show, and I'm trying to think of what it was. It was the mock-up being for husband and wife, Johnny Cash and his wife.
Oh, yes.
I went to that show, and I got to tell you guys, not only I went there, and it wasn't the one that I would necessarily go to. I would have preferred to go the next night for the same people.
Oh, yeah.
I was so glad I went because one of your students was actually mother, and he was sitting with us. I went to sit down, and she moved me on the other side. Now, kids all know that I'm a grandma because they could just tell, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was wondering why she moved him, but she was afraid because when he gets excited, he gets loud and everything. So she was afraid, not realizing that she would not have a problem with me.
Yeah.
So I was laughing because he knew every word to every Johnny Cash song.
But they brought him up on stage.
They brought him up on stage. Yeah. Oh, I just hit my mic. They must be loving me. But he knew every word to every song.
He was amazing.
And, oh my God, he was absolutely amazing. And they had all these older gentlemen that were just, regular people that came there that were like mouthing the words, and he asked them to all sing out, and nobody was singing. So then the kid just ripped on through it. It was just, it was so beautiful that it was.
He was great.
And then the guests, when she has an event, the people that go there, like, I don't really care to go to a lot of places because I'm fairly newly widowed, and I just don't feel like any of the stuff, where the way they have the seating, you can either chit chat with everybody, or you could be with whoever you came from and not have to deal with anybody, like the stadium seating. Mm-hmm. But that day, oh my God, I loved everybody there. An older woman came and took him and danced with him and taught him some dance moves.
We're like family.
Yeah, it is. It's like a family when you go there. That's exactly the wording.
We love our patrons. Well, we only have the concerts to raise the money for everything else we do in the building, and it's not so much that we make money on the tickets because we get some really great performers.
Oh my gosh. And they came out. I've never been to a concert where they came out and shook everybody's hand and thanked every person.
They're local, actually. That was Chris Jason
and
he's
from the Hill.
Rigetti. Yes,
he's from the Hill. He used to sing in one of the...
Sinatra.
In one of the things.
He is the main Frank Sinatra in Las Vegas.
In Las Vegas, yes.
So he said, don't worry, we'll come back and perform.
Oh,
he had one of his last performances in Rhode Island before he moved at the Courthouse.
Yes, yes.
So his mom still lives here. Mm-hmm. I believe in North Providence. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think he did say that.
And so he comes home to visit her too.
Beautiful, beautiful. And the wife is absolutely fantastic. I forgot what she was.
She plays so many different parts now.
She plays so many different roles, and the two of them together just match.
Fabulous. So the Johnny Cash was a fluke. It was they were going in to do a show, but they were right behind somebody else during the rehearsal, and somebody had a Johnny Cash song on the radio or something, and he started singing along to it, and one of the directors there said, you need to do that as a band. And so she started singing with them. Joelle, she was there, and that was it. They put it together. I said, come on in.
Come on in.
I already know they're fabulous performers.
I got goosebumps even thinking about it. Yeah. And like I said, I like Johnny Cash, and I like the, I forget the husband's name, June Carter. And I like them, but I like them more because they were like my father's cup of tea. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I got to tell you something, the two people that played them, I adored because they were so caring about those of us that were watching. I mean, they made sure we were a part of everything.
Well, that's what we try to do, is we get groups that, it's an intimate venue. It's up close and personal, so I don't think there's more than 7 rows away from the stage, and the front row is 3 feet away.
Yep.
So we want them to make it a unique experience because we are so small, so we have to sell out every show.
Nice.
We have to pay the performers.
But you know what, too? You had a group, and I can't remember what they were, the knockoff band for, but the saxophone, and I'm a huge saxophone fan. So I've gone to actually the same group a couple of times.
Chicago, did you come to see?
I'm not sure, but anyway.
Oh, Van Morrison.
Van Morrison.
Yes.
I love that. And you know what? They have a saxophone player, and the saxophone player was a character and a half.
Oh, yeah.
And he was a fill-in. The first time I saw him, he was the fill-in.
He's the school superintendent in
He's the
Massachusetts.
school superintendent of Massachusetts.
Yeah.
And I thought it was so beautiful because there was a 7-year-old in the front row that is part of your program, I believe, as well. And he ended up taking him up and spent the whole break teaching him how
Explaining
a saxophone works.
Yeah.
So it's such a beautiful community, and that's why I wanted
is.
you to come on here, because it's, as far as I'm concerned, it's about as holistic and healthy and healing as you can get.
Oh, we want everybody to be happy and fun, and we help out people in other ways too, not just through those classes, but I think everybody knows we're a community art center, so
Definitely.
if you need something, come and see us.
And it's so funny
find
because
it.
I call it Community Arts Center sometimes by mistake instead of Courthouse, because it's a beautiful community.
Thank you.
You're always standing there when you're coming out too and talking to everybody. And
well, if we have concerts and that's our only income is through, raffles or the full bar service that we have, or donations in our box, or getting sponsors like yourself, then I have to know if that concert was good and if I should ever bring that musician back again, that group back.
But
so
I haven't
wanna
seen.
know
I've
if they
been.
had
I've been
fun
to probably 6 or 7 of them since I got to know. I only
thank
learned
you.
about it this summer.
Nobody ever knows about us. We're nonprofit. We can't afford advertising.
So it's one of those things that when I've gone there, it's just I just have a good time, and the ladies that we go with are absolutely fantastic, and the whole thing is just
and they
beautiful.
get up and dance and
Yes.
everything. We have the dance.
You got the little
floors.
dance areas and everything. But that little boy, he just won my heart over and over again. And the mother was so darn adorable. She was so excited. Her husband was camping, which I think meant hunting, but she didn't want to say that. But anyway, she wanted to FaceTime him because she was so excited when he was up on stage. And then they called him up a second time at the end for the finale, and he was right there.
He's a handsome kid, too.
What a good boy. What a good boy.
They're wonderful.
And like I said, I have somebody that I know that also has an autistic child, and I always joke because she was a horrible doggy mama. I was ready to take her doggy from me, and she's related through relative. And she had a son, and when he was not compassionate or loving towards her, she kind of backed away from him, and it was autism, but it was pre the diagnosis. And her mom was having a hard time accepting. She's a nurse, but she was in total denial. But the father was absolutely fabulous with him. And he was at my grandson's birthday party, and he backed him up far enough so he wouldn't be out. Well, as soon as the mother found out that he had autism, she started everything again, arts, music, and stuff like that. And I would be very surprised if some of it wasn't touched, because she was going somewhere, and it sounds like it was your place.
Oh, yeah.
And I got to tell you something. They didn't think he was going to pass like an 8-9-year-old level, and he's in a little body, and he's like a 40-year-old.
Oh,
do you know what I mean?
Brilliant. They're brilliant. We have intern programs or volunteer, we call it work readiness programs during the day, but that's only for the differently abled. We don't take in any everyday kids, but they come during the school day too.
Yep.
We teach them business skills, and I tell my friends that own businesses, if you hire autistic, you teach them how to do something once, you never have to show them again.
Never.
And they never make a mistake.
Absolutely.
They're wonderful, but their parents and their teachers don't know what they're capable of, because a lot of times people don't allow them to do it. And some of the industry that works with that, they call them special needs, and they get upset with me for saying they're differently abled, and I say, well, they don't have any special needs with us.
No.
We treat them like we do regular, everyday people, training or in the music or in the theater, so we don't have to use anything to give them any special care, and that's why I don't find any reason to call them special needs, but I'll call them differently abled because they have so many skills. And
it's incredible.
So,
it's incredible.
It truly
and I
is.
have a great nephew that has some issues as well. And I remember we were going up the steps one time to my mother's house, and I saw him looking down the rail, and I leaned over and I said, "You see the energy off plants too?" And he goes, "Auntie, you see them too." And it caused a bond between us that has never ended. He's definitely more spectrum than autistic, but he's got some issues. And I got to tell you something, even to this day, I'm one of the favorite people because I realized that his brain just saw, felt, and realized different stuff, but he was brilliant. Do you know what I mean?
They are
really,
brilliant.
really, really smart
They just
kid.
need a way to get it out, and
Absolutely.
that's where the classes come in handy. I tell people, if you're not going to come to the classes, sing every day, every day, dance as much as you can, and it does amazing things.
Well, and I'll tell you, the girlfriend that I talked about that's got the granddaughter, her goal in life was to move up in McDonald's and become a McDonald's manager, which they were all absolutely fine with. But someone in the industry spotted and realized how brilliant she was, brought her into another company, and she's like got 3 promotions like in 2-3 years. And it's all because of the music and the art. There's not a doubt in my mind.
Oh, that's
So
wonderful.
it's incredible.
wonderful.
It's so incredible.
Thank
And I
you.
didn't realize there was a place. And one of the reasons I wanted you to do this, I wanted other people to realize there's a place.
Thank you.
Because the energy over there is so beautiful. And all your people that work there are absolutely fabulous too.
Well, they're mostly volunteers.
Yes.
We don't really have a staff.
I love the
but-
boys that handle the raffles
Yeah.
and stuff like that. The one that you had all summer. He just owned
Richard.
my heart.
So Richard has moved to Florida, and he's in college down there. And right now our fill-ins are Phi Gamma Delta guys down at URI. There's a group of probably 30 of them that come on a regular basis. So
Beautiful.
1 or 2 will come in and help with the raffles, and they're wonderful guys. I guess it's Fiji or Phi Gamma Delta, and
Yeah, I would even
college
know. I
guys
would
that
even
come
know.
in and help, and they can do all the heavy lifting for me. I just love them. They come back on the different seasons and help me clean outside and come to the shows, and sometimes they come in with suits on and sunglasses to sell the raffle tickets. They're a hoot.
They're
such a
they're
hoot.
absolutely adorable.
Yeah, and they've bartended, volunteer bartended. If I find out that one's got a certificate and has worked out in the
Yeah.
industry, will you help us bartend?
No.
Yeah,
And
they're
I
wonderful.
absolutely love her intermissions with the raffles. You make me laugh until the tears roll down. Because sometimes the raffle winning might win the first time I went there, they won a mask, COVID mask. The first time
Because
I
we
went
were tired of them and didn't need them
there.
anymore. You're right.
So
that was
you
one of the
actually won
raffles.
COVID masks, yes. So I thought that was absolutely a riot.
Oh, you're funny.
But totally enjoy the whole
And the
thing.
raffle gifts are, thank you, the raffle gifts are donated by the local companies, so gift certificates to different restaurants and things that support us, and it's all supported by the community, so it is heartwarming. The whole thing is just a wonderful thing, and we wouldn't be able to do it without the help of people like you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
thank you.
I got to tell you, I was so thrilled to do it because it's probably one of my fav organizations. Do you know what I mean? But that and doggy organizations.
Yeah.
I'm there. So let me see, brilliant me. So it's between the two. It's my favorite. So if they
Thank you.
wanted to get a hold of you, particularly if they wanted to have a child to investigate going into a program, how would they get a hold of you?
Well, they can call us at 401-782-1018. We have a website that is courthousearts.org, or they can email info@courthousearts.org.
Absolutely wonderful. And you can always check on Facebook online to see some of the activities that are going on.
Yes.
They do a fabulous job, and
Thank you.
a lot of the people help out with their time too.
Yes,
And it's just
and volunteer, yeah,
and
absolutely.
volunteered,
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
So Bill Ladden has also talked to me about wanting to do something else.
Yeah.
I know. He
You
wants
want to
play
get the
with
rest
metal
of the
detector.
ghosts out there.
And he wants to do something
The
with the metal
detector in
detector
the back.
as well
Oh,
to
yeah.
come through.
Well, the building was built in 1893, so.
If you look online, if you look at the courthouse building, the structure and everything is so gorgeous.
It's like a castle.
It is. It does look like a castle. It's
Or people will
absolutely
ask if it's a church.
or something.
Yeah.
I mean, it like you're coming down the road, you're seeing URI and this, that, and the other thing. Then all of a sudden you see this structure, and it's like, wow.
Wow. It is beautiful. It
And
is.
then-
It's crumbling, though. It
Is
is.
it a little bit?
Oh,
A little bit, yeah.
yes. Yes.
So they have 3 floors, and it's in quite a entertainment role. So if you want to get a hold of her, please do that. And if you have troubles or you forget, what has been said or something like that, feel free to call the Mindz Eye and to contact me, and I will make sure that you get in touch with her. She's absolutely fabulous, and she'll help you with whatever you need.
Thank you.
And the children themselves. Just give me an idea. Just give us an example of just a program or two before we sign off.
So we have theater programs where we try to have the children find their favorite character, and then we get them all together and they write their own play, and then they'll do a performance. So our programs run year-round, and the theater programs run 6 to 8 weeks, and they end with 2 or 3 shows that they perform in. And they can come back to the next program too. The other program is what we call the Courthouse Chimes, and they're an inclusion chorus that come in once a week. We're trying to make it twice a week shortly to practice singing different songs, but then we go out on the road and perform for free for nursing homes, or we've
Oh,
done
what a beautiful thing
River
that is,
Fire
too.
or Water Fire, and then we've done Dan's Place for his Thanksgiving meal. We've done assisted living places, and the children have also come and opened up for our concerts. They'll do 1 or 2 songs.
Oh,
yeah.
that's beautiful.
They bring the
That's
house
beautiful.
down.
Oh, I'm sure they bring the house down. Like I said, that little boy, he had the whole room going.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
great.
the whole room going. It was just, and then a couple of people went over to him and shook his hand because he was a star now. Do you know what I mean?
Of course,
It was
I
absolutely
asked for his
fabulous.
autograph.
Did you?
Yeah,
Oh, how
yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah, you have to.
Absolutely.
felt great
Now,
about
one
it.
of the things too that I found is that I was thinking of. What are some things that people could do if they wanted to volunteer their time?
Wash floors? Sure.
Sure, they could do that at my house too.
Well, we
Mariann. I'm
need the
teasing you.
whole thing done.
need
Well, they can
everything
wash
done.
them at my house too. That's okay with me. And the toilets. Anyway, we have office work that could be done. We have somebody that goes out into the community and puts up posters for the different events. They deliver free tickets to the Chamber of Commerce, to Southern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce, and they give out free tickets to people that move or build new houses or move into the area from out of state to tell them about us. We have people that go out and collect raffle prizes for us in the community, gift certificates like to Matunic Oyster Bar or 210 Oyster Bar or Finn's Harborside, things like that.
Yep.
They could wash floors and
Yeah,
toilets.
you keep repeating that.
And toilets.
You keep repeating that.
Well, we have to clean up after every show or after every class, and
Yeah.
so we have people that come in and just vacuum. We have people that come in and do maintenance.
So we got to wrap it up now. So I just want to remind people, if you want to get a hold of her for anything, just let me know, and I will get in touch with her.
Thank you.
And we'll
Thank
do
you.
it to it. Yes. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you for having me. That's
I'm so
wonderful.
glad we had you.